Yo, we're going to be talking about support and resistance and how you guys can understand the popular concept and terminologies here within the trading space. Let's jump straight into it. No time wasted. So, boom, let's start off with support. Okay. So, support. What support is it's an area where people decide to buy. Okay. Support is going to be a pretty much a bottom of the market. Okay. Once again, it's going to be an area where buyers step in. Where buyers step in, price, inshallah, if God wills, wants to increase within an upwards direction. Okay. The support is going to be an area where price decides to bottom out and curl upward, signaling that buying is happening. Okay. Which is letting us know that the position wants to go within an upwards direction, okay? Depending if you're looking at crypto, forex, futures, whatever, stocks, it doesn't. Okay, you see support being curled, okay? You can assume price wants to go up in an upward direction, especially on your higher time frame. Get into all of that soon, okay? Now, resistance. Resistance is going to be an area where sellers, okay, step in. Okay. And just like we know, the goal of crypto, stocks, etc., is for people to park their money in it and have their money make more money. Okay. And for that to happen, the chart has to go within an upwards direction for most players. Okay. Not everyone can short. Okay. So most people are trying to just park their money so their money can make them more money. Okay. But whenever you see price sell, that is going to signal that people are selling. Okay. And when you see upside down V's or heavy areas of price stopping at a certain place and then reversing, that's going to signify resistance. Okay. And resistance is an area, once again, where sellers step in. So whenever you see sellers stepping in, that's going to be an area of resistance. Okay. So if price is going in an upwards direction, you see it stop at a certain place and sharply fall down, that's going to signify an area of resistance. Okay. So I'm going to break down the logical perspective of the market before we continue. Okay. So I'm going to break down to why support and resistance are important and how you guys can use them within your entry model. Okay. So as far as support and resistance, okay, your time frame that you're looking at is going to be extremely important. Okay. Remember, hedge funds, institutions, etc., are looking to hold their trades for weeks, months, and for years. Okay. So you need to be attempting to do the same. Okay. Understand that if you're too caught up on the 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 minute, smaller time frames, you're not going to see the full story. Okay, the price action is going to be faking you out. You're not going to understand the full trend. So this is why it's important for us to be using our higher time frames. Okay, time frames you want to be using. Use your daily time frame. Okay, that's going to pretty much give you your global eyeball. Okay, it's going to show you where all-time highs is at. You're going to be able to see if your support is being held, and you're just going to start off on your daily first. Okay, your dailies are going to be your eyes. Okay, use your daily as your eyes. Then forward as far as identifying your setup, your 4 hour. Okay, your 4 hour is going to be used to find setups. Okay, and same thing with your 30 minute. Okay. The 4 hour is really going to be for my crypto forex traders. Okay. But if you're a stock trader, futures, okay, then your 30-minute time frame is also going to be of use to you too. Okay. So you're going to use the daily, the 4 hour, and the 30-minute time frame. Those are going to be the most important time frames that I like to use to swing trade and turn small amounts of money to a lot. Okay. Because ideally, that's what you want to be doing. You don't want to be scalping. You don't want to be trying to make 20, 30 trades a month just to barely make anything. With somebody who put down one trade and made 5x your profit. Okay. Stop thinking ridiculously. Stop thinking that more trades equals more money because it doesn't. You need to stay patient. Understand that if somebody trades 5 times in a month, okay, they can make significantly more profit than you if you put down 30 trades within a month. Okay, when it comes to trading, it's not like business. It's not like working out. Volume does not increase profit. Okay, what's going to increase your profit is you following S plus criteria. Okay, and we're going to go over some type of setup criteria now that we understand why time frames are extremely important. All right, so taking a look at the Bitcoin chart here, let's understand the market within a logical perspective. Okay, so we understand that the goal of the stock market in general, okay, the reason why governments are buying millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, hedge funds invest into stocks, etc. Okay, the goal of the market is for people to park their money, okay, so it can turn into more money. Okay, all they're doing is just turning their money into a resource. Instead of going to spend it on the club, go spend it on nonsense. They park their bread within the market so then they can go sit down at the lake house with their kids within a couple of years. Okay, so they park their bread, turn it into more bread. That's the goal of the market. Okay, so look, as you can see the Bitcoin chart here. Okay, we can see from 2016, boom, 2016 here. Price was around $300. Okay, and price now is around $113,000 as of the time of this video, 2025. Okay, as we can see, within a decade, we were able to climb within a upwards trajectory by a whole lot. Okay, so price went from 300 to 113,000. Okay, so that's a really, really big jump within a 10-year difference. Okay, so if you just parked your bread, held, you would have been able to make a lot of money. Okay, that's the goal of trading. So let's talk about where support and resistance comes into that. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at my daily time frame because once again, swing traders are the richest traders. Okay, people who are holding for days, weeks, months, and years. Okay, they're all way more profitable, way less stressed, and just enjoying life way more than day traders. Okay, day traders, if you're trying to scalp bread, okay, you're playing for pennies on the dollar. You're trying to use your $200 that you need to even open the contract to make $80. Okay, the risk to reward is not there. Nothing is there. You need to be playing for big sweeps within the market. Okay, so let's talk about how we can analyze support and resistance in the market, and then we'll talk about entry models we can use to catch some profitable setups. Okay, so boom. Starting off here, let's talk about support. Okay, so support is going to be an area where a market decides to bottom out and then bounce upward. Okay, so if I go ahead and draw some circles here, you're going to see that price decided to sharply correct and bounce near this area. So I'm going to get my rectangle tool. I'm going to draw a rectangle near this whole zone. Okay, and what a zone is, it's an area where price decides to react multiple times. Okay, so a zone, okay, is an area of support or resistance that's reacted to. Okay, so that's a zone. Okay, so within this support zone here, okay, and once again, this is a support zone because buying is stepping in. How do I know buying is stepping in? I can see that price decided to make a V-like stop, okay, and then I see upwards trajectory and upwards price action occurring, okay, from this bottom V, okay. So this bottom here is going to signify support, okay. You see multiple instances here. I can see over here support being created. I can see over here support being created, okay. So boom. Once again, I know these two areas are support because price is deciding to bounce upward from this area, okay? So these are areas of support, okay? Because price decided to stop at this area and then start trickling in an upwards direction. That's support, okay? And talking about the opposite end of support, okay? You're gonna go ahead and have resistance, okay? So I want you to take a look at this. Look at this area here, okay? And look at this area here, okay? As you guys can see, price decided to bounce up from this area of support, okay? And we stopped at this area and then trickled down, okay? So we stopped at this area up here. And this area up here is gonna signify selling. Why? Because I see price heading in a downwards direction. When price is heading in a downwards direction, selling is occurring, okay? Price is heading in an upwards direction, buying. All right. Okay. That's the difference. Okay. The difference. But understand that price has to go, just like life. In order to go up, you have to go down. And when you're down, inshallah, you'll come back up. Okay. So don't be scared when market's going down. Just see it as an opportunity to buy again. Okay. So check it. Boom. Price decided to stop at this area up here. And when price decides to stop at an area and trickle downward and signify that selling wants to occur, that's going to show us an area of resistance. Okay, so just like down here, support, price trickled upward, price trickled downward here. Okay, and that's going to signify resistance. Okay, so this area here, where price decided to stop and fall downward. Okay, and even this area right here, price decided to fall downward. Okay, so once again, when you see price falling downward from an area, that's going to signify an area of resistance. And whenever you see price bottom out and bounce from within an upward direction, okay, that's going to signify an area of support. Okay. The support is the bottom out area where price decides to trickle up from, and resistance is the top out area where price decides to trickle down from. Okay. That's the difference between the two. Now, let's talk about the different entry criterias, models, and how we can use them in order to make profitable setups. Do it. So let's talk about model number 1. Okay. So understanding a logical thing within the market cannot progress unless it decides to break resistance. Okay. So market cannot break into new all-time highs until it makes new or breaks resistances. Okay. So let's take this area, for example, right here. Okay. Price decided to have this little resistance zone here. Okay. We have one area of resistance being reacted to right here. Okay. Check it. And then we have another area of resistance right here. Okay. I'm on my daily time frame here, checking things out. Okay. So I have two areas of resistance falling down, showing me bearish price action at the same exact place. Okay. So when I especially see price action happening within the same place multiple times, once again, that's going to let me know that the zone is powerful. Okay. But look at all these bearish reactions happening within the gray box. Okay. But then as soon as we decided to get above the gray box, as we can see over here, price decided to progress within an upwards direction. Okay. So that's going to bring me to the first model. So most things start at 0. Okay. So most things, stocks, cryptos, and stuff like that start pretty much at 0. Okay. So say it started down here, for example. Okay. Price has to go up and then create resistance. Okay. But price can only continue within an upwards direction if resistance is broken. Okay. So the first entry I'm going to talk to you guys about is going to be the resistance breakout. Okay. And this is going to be a pretty probable setup. There's going to be some rules to this. Okay. Just so you guys don't lose. Okay. It's not my favorite setup. We're going to talk about my favorite setup here in a second. But knowing when resistance breakout happen is going to be able to give you a lot of key information. Okay. So resistance breakout is going to be when an area of resistance decides to finally get broken through. Okay. As we can see, once again, price decided to fall down from this area of resistance, fall down from the area of resistance again, and then we finally decide to break above it, continuing up, creating bullish price action and structure. Okay. So resistance breakout is going to be the first model that I'm going to talk to you guys about. Okay. It's just waiting for an area of resistance to be broken. Okay. And let's talk about how we enter. Okay. I want you guys to be on at least your 30-minute or 4-hour time frame. Okay. After you guys find your resistance zone, go to your 4-hour or 30-minute. And whenever price gets above your zone, okay, so say the top black line here, okay, because this is where price decided to fall down at once and fall down at over here, okay, it fell down twice within pretty much the same area. But once it got above it, okay, I'm not going to enter until I see a daily, okay, I'm either going to wait for a daily close, okay, which means I'm not going to enter on this candle here, okay? So I'm not going to enter on this first candle here. I never want to enter on the first candle on a breakout, okay? I'm either going to go wait on my daily or my 4-hour. I'm going to wait for price to get above my breakout zone, and I'm going to enter in on the second candle. Okay, because what can happen is price might break above it on the first candle and then pull right back down. And that's called a false breakout. Okay, and you can avoid false breakouts, inshallah, by waiting for closes. Okay, and what a close is you can look at the time frame at the top of whatever broker you're on. Okay, and to the top or to the right, you're going to be able to see a timer. Okay, and that timer is going to show you whenever the candlestick is going to close. Okay, let's talk about what a close is. So every candlestick that you see to the left has happened already in the past. And every time frame that you're on, say for instance, I'm on the daily, then each of these candlesticks are going to show me a day. 4 hour, each of these are going to show me 4 hour. If I'm on the 30-minute, each of these are going to show me 30-minute. Okay, you get the gist. But I'm going to look at the timer to the far right, and I'm going to be waiting for the timer to close. Okay, I'm going to be waiting for the timer to close. Okay, I want a second candle above my zone. Okay, I'm not going to enter in immediately on the first candle break. I'm never going to do that. I'm going to wait on either my 4 hour. Okay, 4 hours is going to be slightly riskier, but you could get early entry. Okay, which could lead to more profit, or you could wait for your daily close. Okay, which could sometimes lead you getting left behind. Okay, which is fine too, but sometimes you're going to get a lot more probable. And trading is not always about making money. It's about sometimes taking the trade where you're not going to lose money. Think about that perspective. Okay, and your P&L be a lot more protected. Stop thinking about making money. Thinking about instances where you're not going to lose money. Take trades like that. Okay, so price got above the black line here, and this candlestick here kind of still in between the black line, so I wouldn't have taken this. Same thing with this candle here, but boom, I would have seen here on this candlestick right here, price finally got above the black line. Especially if I saw this candlestick right here too. Okay, I have closes above the black line, and as you can see, once we close above the black line, price decided to just skyrocket upward. Okay, no indicators involved, guys. No cringe, no nothing. Just straight raw price action. Okay, so you could wait for your 4 hour or wait for your daily close after a resistance breakout has happened and I've been identified. Remember, you never want to enter on the first candlestick. Okay, so this candlestick, you would not have entered on the first one right here. You want to wait for a close above the black line. Okay, if it's in between it, in between your zone, you don't take it. You wait for an above close, and then you could take a resistance breakout. Okay, and then you could take it to the next area of resistance or support. Okay, so let me show you another example of a resistance breakout. Okay, I'm going to show you guys all models. You could choose which model is your favorite or put them all together and just become a slam trader, inshallah. So check it. So especially if there's resistance above me, okay, that's just something that I'm going to want to look for. Okay, take this for example. If I just drew this zone here, check this out. We have this area of resistance here, this area of resistance here. Okay, price decided to fall within downward directions in the zone. Okay, and as you can see, there's resistance above current price. Okay, we got resistance over here too. Okay, some resistance here, and we also have kind of some resistance right here. Okay, so these are all areas of resistance. Okay, and remember, price can only progress upward if areas of resistances are broken. Okay, that's the only way. Otherwise, price cannot continue. So once the resistance gets broken here, okay, boom, as you can see, price decided to get above the black line here. And as you can see, as soon as we broke above the black line, it blasted. All right. Don't get salty if this happens. Okay. If this gets happened, don't get mad. Like, don't get mad. Don't get mad. Don't be like, dang, bro, I just lost bread. I just oh, don't start freaking out. Okay. Don't FOMO. Don't do anything whack or cringe. Okay. You can still enter on this candle if you want, or we're going to talk about the next model. Okay. If you see heavy burst and you miss it, don't get sad. Okay. You're not going to be able to take everything. Stop getting emotional. Relax. Okay. FOMO. Don't you FOMO on these breakouts. Okay. You're waiting for your close. Don't you FOMO. Okay. If it blasts the whole way in 1 4-hour candle, that trade is not for you. Start breaking your rules. You start thinking you can do anything that you want within the market instead of letting the market come to you. Go ahead and think that. This is not business. This is not working out. Go ahead and think that. Okay, you need to be logical. You need to be patient. Let the setup come to you. Okay, so that's a resistance breakout. Okay. Now let's talk about model number 2. Okay. This is my favorite model, and this is the most important model, I believe, within the whole trading just criteria. Okay. Model number 2 here. This model is going to be called break and retest. Legendary model. Insane model. Okay. Very legendary, very based. Just one of the cleanest, most successful models of all time. Break and retest. The best model in the entire world. Okay. Break and retest. Okay. If you look at the emoji of the stock chart, it's gonna look like this. Okay. It's gonna look like staircase. There's a reason why. Okay. Take the logical perspective here. Say you opened up a stock and it starts from zero. Okay. Say price decided to just start right here. Okay. Okay. Price decides to make resistance. Okay. And price decides to break that resistance. Okay. Now, resistance can be broken and turned into support. Okay. So resistance can be broken and turned into support. And then your take profit would be the original resistance from the first breakout. So instead of entering at the first breakout, you actually wait for the first breakout to happen, create resistance. Then, because sometimes if you can't take the first breakout on something all-time highs, you don't really know where take profit's going to stop at, okay, successfully. But if you wait for a pullback, if you wait for the original resistance that was broken in the first place to turn into support, okay, then you could take it up and then catch the resistance gap fill. So model number 2 is going to be waiting for a break of resistance to happen. Okay. Don't enter in at the first breakout. Okay. Wait for price to pull back to the original resistance breakout. And if it turns into support near that area, you're good. Okay. You can go and take that. Okay. So resistance into support is going to be a big entry. Okay. And same thing for my short traders too. If you ever do take a short, same logic applies, but just reverse engineering. Okay. If resistance can turn into support, then support can turn into resistance. Okay. And that's when you short. The only time you ever short is if you see an area of support get broken and turn into resistance. Otherwise, you don't short. You just do not short unless it's a clean break and retest. Because remember, the goal of the markets are to go up. So if the short isn't clean, you don't force that. Okay. Because a lot of the times the market might just, and you're going to be a lot better off on the upside than the downside. You have to think logically. Now, if you're a Forex trader, commodities trader, where it's more sideways, that's a little different. But if you're a stocks and cryptos trader, think long wise. Okay. The goal of these charts is to go in the upwards direction. You're playing a bullish chart pretty much the whole time, even in bear markets. So understand here that resistance can be broken and turn into support, and support can be broken and turn into resistance. That's for sure. But the main thing we're going to be looking at for long trades and calls, which we're going to be focusing on if you're a stock or crypto trader, okay, which I assume most of you are, then you're going to be focusing on waiting in for an area of resistance to be broken and then turn into support. Okay, that's going to be your bread and butter. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how I caught this Bitcoin trade. I gave it out in my Discord, and let's break it down. So I like to start off with my daily time frame here. And what I did was I analyzed this area of resistance over here. Okay, so this area of resistance occurred. Okay, and I like to just go ahead and draw zones. So I'm going to draw a zone on the area of resistance here. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my 4-hour here. Okay, scale things out a little closer. So I saw the area of resistance. Okay, and as you can see, this was previous all-time highs. Okay, and then price decided to get broken over here. Okay, I didn't take the breakout. Why? Because there's no resistance above me before this. Okay, I didn't know where it was going to stop. Okay, price decided to stop up here though. Okay, it decided to stop up here. Go ahead and draw a box at this resistance up here. Okay, so after price broke this resistance here, we went up to this resistance here. Okay, and then price created resistance and decided to trickle downward. Okay, all right. So after the resistance was created, okay, price decided to pull down. And guess what? Like I said, I'm going to be waiting for the original resistance breakout entry to turn into support. Okay, and when I see that, I'm good. Especially when I see that on my 4 hour time frame, I'm good. Okay, you want to be seeing it on your 4 hour time frame a lot of the times. Okay, just to make sure that it's verified. Okay, especially if you're taking a super duper long heavy trade. I'm gonna show you guys a stocks example too, how you can use 930 manipulation to find key levels. Okay, but if we're just eyeballing crypto or whatever, look at your 4 hour resistance, wait for it to be broken, heavy areas, and then turn into support. Okay, and as you can see, it's happening again over here. So inshallah, might be another buy spot. Okay, that's gonna go ahead and be how we could trade the second model, break and retest. Okay, so that's just globally for crypto, stocks, forex. Now let me show you guys specifically for stocks a cool thing you can do to actually find the most key levels for something. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pull up a stock here. Let me go ahead and pull up Google. Right, I got Google open. Now for stocks, these are going to be how to find the best levels in my opinion. Okay, go to indicators at the very top and go ahead and look up market open marker. Okay, market open marker by Chartmeter. Okay, go ahead and click on that and start. So once you have market open marker by Chartmeter added to your trading view, you want to go to your daily or 4 hour time frame. Okay, so I can clearly see here on Google that there's more upside to be had. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is mark my zone up here near all-time highs. Okay, so I have my zone marked up here near all-time. Okay, I know price still has some room up here that it wants to get to. Okay, then price can try and break some new all-time highs. Okay, the goal of the market is always trying to make new all-time highs. Always, that's the goal of the market. Okay, so your main profit target a lot of the times is going to be distance above current price, especially when you're playing stocks and crypto. Be thinking bullish. Okay, even within bear markets, you should just be thinking of certain areas in order to buy again. Okay, so check it. Now, after you analyze your take profit or your final destination where you want to exit, let's find the entry. So then you're going to go to your 30-minute time frame, put an eyeball on the market open marker. Okay, and you can either do your 15-minute or your 30-minute. And what you're going to do is look at zones below current price. Okay, you're going to see these green lines happening. Green lines. Okay, green lines. These are going to signify whenever market open. Okay, and market open is an extremely important time. And market opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, and the reason why that time is most important is because that's when options open, that gives us the most volume. Okay, volume equals people. So more people on, more market's going to move, the heavier it's going to move. Okay, so I like to go to my daily time frame, 4 hour time frame, see how much upside I have left. Okay, this is going to be two ways to find break and retest trades easily, really. Okay, so I can go to my 15-minute time frame. Okay, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is look for areas where market decided to open at. Okay, so say even right here, and I'm going to go ahead and put zones on the bottom or top wicks of wherever market open. Okay, because a lot of the times those are going to give us answers to why price decides to do what it do. Okay, so check it. I'm going to look below current price. Okay, and I'm going to look for areas of resistance and support. Okay, look for areas of resistance and support. I'm going to go ahead and draw zones on the areas cleanly too. Okay. You guys are going to notice within these areas sometimes that they're going to correlate with the areas. Okay. You see price correlating within the same area, you know it's going to be a key level that's going to be important. Okay. And these 930 levels, once again, are going to give some of the most volume. This is going to be for stocks. Okay. So maybe you got all sauce, trade crypto, forex, or whatever. Okay. Profitable trade. Take this area first. Okay. This area of resistance. Okay. This area of resistance got broken here, got broken above, and then to support over here. To support over here. Since that, price decides to go ahead and trickle with an upwards direction. You have not pretty much sense. Okay, and you would have been able to catch like 200 points. Okay, so if you see price pulling back to any of these zones, any of these like big major zones that you have marked out, try not to. Okay, more detailed you are, the better zones you're gonna have. Okay, so now I can clearly see if price pulls back to these areas, then I'm gonna be able to get bullish. Okay, ideally, I can see price wants to get up here. Okay, let me go ahead and show you one more too. Take Amazon for okay. Amazon, okay, and get on my 30-minute time frame. And I could do this if I wanted to too. 30-minute or 15-minute. I could look above current price. Okay. I could easily wait for the area of resistance to be broken. And if the resistance gets broken and turn into support, then go to my 4-hour time frame. I'll take it up to the next area of current price. Okay. And I could just mark a zone on the 930 areas of resistance above current price. Okay. And if I see price do break and retest on either these two, and then you're going to see 930 areas correlate to. So if I see break and retest in this zone or this zone here, okay, then I know I'm going to be able to go ahead and get in. Inshallah. Okay. So even this too. Especially when you start seeing 930 areas spam within the same place, that should really excite you. Okay, you're going to know that zone is going to be clean. Okay, so take this strong area of resistance right here. Price could either get up here, turn that into support. If you see that, you'll be able to take it up to the next zone up here. Okay, and if price doesn't do that, then you could go ahead and try it up here. Okay, try to wait for this 930 area of resistance right here to be broken and see if it doesn't wants to do it here. Then you could take it up to the next zone. Okay, you'll be able to catch like 3-4 points and just dominate. Okay, and catch the whole bullish trend. I want you guys to be able to be profitable. You guys to be able to, okay. So these are going to be how you're going to be able to catch bigger trades by really just analyzing them correctly. Okay. So let's talk about the next model here. Let's talk about model number 3. So model number 3 is going to be using some logic. Okay. It's going to be called support and validation. Okay. Go ahead and show you guys an example. Once again, this is going to be an example of support out validation. So if I get on my 30-minute time frame, right, or 4-hour or wherever, okay, and I can clearly see an area of support above current price, okay, so what you're going to be waiting for is for an area of below current price, either turn the support above it to turn into resistance, then you could trade the breakout or break and retest, or if price just runs through the support, then you could take that as an entry as well too. Okay, so that's called support and validation. So take this bottom candle here of support. Okay, a lot of times, sometimes the support is going to have strong resistance. Again, on the 30-minute here, I can go ahead and see I have some like 930 support right here. Okay, boom. So I know if price decides to get past this key area of support, okay, another area of support right here too, then I can go ahead and see price filling the gap. Okay, and this is what I call support and validation. Okay, so if you have heavy areas of support above current price and then they get broken, okay, or even if they turn into resistance like they did right here, especially if you see that, you can be happier. Okay, and then if you see price invalidate these areas, you can get in, catch a nice trade, inshallah. Okay, so I just want you guys to be profitable, successful. Okay, so that's model number 3, support and validation. These heavy areas of support above price runs through it, okay, or even if it breaks and retest, that's confirmation as well too. Then you could just wait for that resistance to get broken, okay. And this is going to be an example of break and retest too here. Support got broken, turn into resistance, and take the short trade down to like the next support. Okay, so that's how you got short, or you could take it to the next area of resistance from break and retest. Okay, price came down, up, down. Okay. So don't make trading difficult, okay? And then we're going to talk about the final model, okay, for longing and shorting, and it's just mirrors, okay? It's just mirrors. All right, call it support mirror or resistance mirror, okay? If price reacts within the same, like bounces within the same support area twice, okay, and it clearly wants to hold, then that's potentially what price just want to do. Okay, sometimes it can be that simple. Sometimes it really is just that simple. Okay, let me go ahead and show you guys here. Okay, look at this. Okay, whenever you see price deciding to literally just stop at the same area twice, okay, and bounce up, that's support mirror. Okay, sometimes it's that easy. Okay, sometimes it's that easy. And you want to be waiting for your 4 hour close. You never want to get in on the first wick. Never get in on the first wick, okay? Because sometimes price might want to jump down. Okay, wait for price to close again and then get in. Take your time. Stay prayed up to God. Be patient and disciplined. Okay, so pray that helps. Support and resistance fully explained, broken down. That's how you guys can use crypto, forex, options. I don't care. Okay, I just want you to support your families. I want you guys to be righteous. I want you to be disciplined. I want you to keep grinding. Don't give up. We have goals to achieve. Okay, let's keep going. Let's not let the devil get in our head. Okay, let's fight all the internal problems that we have and let's transmute it into some success. All right. Love you guys so much. Keep grinding. Stay prayed up to God. Don't ever give up. I love you guys so much. Peace.